Big up, big up, big up, big up to my Reds out there. This is Liverpool 12th man. I am showing up to enjoy the day with you. It's a Monday, and it's Aston Villa in our rearview mirror. Emery is in our rearview mirror as well. So for right now, at least, as we enter the international break, going to have a review show for you guys today. Going to basically go over some of the player ratings and some of the ideas and concepts that we or interpretations of the game that we came across. I appreciate you being here. If you're not here and you're just watching this on replay, I appreciate that just the same. But I also appreciate if you hit the subscribe, like, and share this video, share this channel. Please do. We're trying to pick up this new vibration, I guess you could call it, this new effort to really bring in, this Mighty Red Army. And you're a part of it. You're a 12th man, just like myself. So I appreciate the love and support. So let's just dive right into it. Oh, big up to Marianne. Big up to Redbird, big up to Milante, big up to Chris Angel, all that have all checked in already. These are some of my loyal brethren. I want to know how everyone's feeling about yesterday. Are we optimistic now? Have we now started to feel the vibe and the joy of knowing that we've gotten 10 out of 12 points? Knowing that for now, at least, one of our talismans, Salah, is here to stay for at least now. And also getting to see Nunez start the match and get some real good playing time and contribute. That's something I wanted to definitely hear and understand if you guys are feeling the love or feeling any different type of vibe on those aspects. So there's a lot to really take from this game, I think, personally. Very interesting lineup that Klopp chose to bring out. I'm just going to bring up this as well. Let's pop it up right now. So very interesting lineup, I thought. I know that a lot of us were, at least myself, was very, very intrigued to see that Curtis Jones got the start. We all knew that Matip and Gomez were going to start. I was actually happy to see both of Gomez and Matip play very well. I thought the back line played very well. I'm going to do a tactics breakdown. I'm calling it Tactics Tuesday tomorrow, and we'll get a little bit more in depth with how we really broke down Villa and how we actually pretty much controlled the majority of the game. So let me just do one last thing here. Pull up this little thing. All right. So let's just what were your vibes and what were your feelings about the game, you guys? Let's see. Big up to all the people in the chat as well. What were your vibes though for the game? Like, were you optimistic that we were gonna control the game the way we did, or were you somewhat, more hopeful, but definitely not really feeling that we would control the game the way that we did? We had some really great statistics out there. I mean, we had a 2.47 XG. Oh, big up John Conway. Oh, and absolutely. Yeah. Happy birthday to Mr. Conway. It's John Conway's birthday. I know that he is most likely going to hopefully celebrate it or have an opportunity to celebrate with family or friends. But as a fellow Red and a fellow one of my fellow brethren, big up to Mr. Conway. So I was wondering how you guys were feeling about it. As in, we had a basic dominance, I believed, in the game. We had 17 shots to their 9. I know we had, albeit 14 of those shots were actually 13 of those shots actually were weren't on target, either off target, I think, or were blocked shots. I know that realistically, we had we had 6 offsides, but I think that really, I'm not really concerned about the number of offsides we had. I wasn't really super concerned about the fact that we were missing or not really hitting the back of the net as often as all of us would have liked. I mean, we had 3 goals, one an own goal, of course, but 3 goals. There were some things that I don't know about you guys, but there were some things that really ticked me off, I guess you could call it. And there primarily was because, see, I'm on the other side of the pond from some of our UK brethren, and the commentators on my side of the pond were really just doing what I call the lazy parrot punditry on Nunez and on a lot of the aspects of what we saw in the game. Calling it big up Brian. Brian's in the house. Appreciate you showing some love by showing up and watching this broadcast. Yeah, I thought that it was really sad the way that they picked on the same tired narratives that you hear out there. They called it the Nunez of old, or when he hit the crossbar, I believe, or post, one of the two. And then he was like, they were commenting on, he should have finished. If he had finished his opportunities last year, he would have had at least double his amount of goals, and all this just tired punditry. It's like, one, it's last year. Two, if anything, it's hard enough to miss the goal, much less hit the post. So it was annoying, if anything. I think it was just like one of those things where we're just like, it makes you want to just, turn down the volume. Hopefully it ends up doing what I do, which is either participating in and trying to offer you guys some watch-alongs, and to also, or just watching other people's watch-alongs for the games, because it is so sad and tired to hear some of the lame punditry that we hear from the commentators that present our games today. It's just so sad. But yeah, I don't know if you guys are watching. There's let me put Marianne's comment too. This was a good comment. The media have an agenda against Darwin. They are just waiting for him to do anything, so they can talk trash about him. Absolutely spot on. Redbird has say, Ern, let's see how do I feel? United lost, Liverpool won. We have a player worthy of our number 8. Absolutely. And we are cooking something special, I guess. I'm okay. Nah, I feel fantastic. Absolutely. Yeah, I definitely got a little celebration in last night, for sure, after that big win. But yeah, getting back to it, yeah. I think that it's very interesting. And it's difficult to do watch-alongs, by the way. Let me say that. It is very difficult to do watch-alongs. I saw the watch-alongs. I tend to watch I don't know if you guys do it too, but I watch the watch-alongs that do the reaction watch-alongs. They're hilarious. I know one day I'm sure I'll be on one of those watch-alongs with either good, if not bad, reactions to some of the matches that we have to do. But yeah, some of the reactions for that Manchester United Arsenal match are classic. Oh my goodness. Absolutely agree though with what Redbird was saying about how the Manchester Liverpool winning and also Manchester United losing, if anything, in my book is always a fun thing. It would have been better for a draw, but I'll take a loss, either one of them losing, the Gooners or the United. But all right, so it was a fun match to watch. I believe again we had a lot of possession, which was very very important. I thought we also had a great deal of shots, as I pointed out earlier. Again, our XG was pretty decent comparatively to Villa's XG, which is a 0.66 for the entire game. At least they had a 0.66. We had a 2.47 XG. We had a bunch of opportunities. The sheer fact, though, that we had the ball 64% of the time is beyond excellent. I think that that's something that you're seeing, and something that I've been trying to point out to a lot of people. I've been trying to, again, I always want to empower every one of my fellow Mighty Reds. I want us to be obviously an important and a very empowered Mighty Army. So Mighty Reds Army, at least. So when it comes to understanding that concept, I wanted to just underline the fact that I know people have concerns about our defense. I know that we all have these concerns about DM. We need a DM. We need a DM. One, I personally do believe that we have an adequate and a really amazingly sufficient DM in Endo. I know people are somewhat more jaded towards not giving him a chance, but I believe he is a good DM. But today we saw the start of McAllister in that DM role, and I think that I think one thing we saw with the addition of McAllister in that DM role, I get that maybe I don't know if everyone's with me or not, but I know I personally would like to see McAllister in the role that Curtis Jones played today, or yesterday, I should say. However, McAllister is an adequate player at that DM, not because he's a destroyer, but because he is a adequate player to utilize for possession play. Something that I'm really, really, really excited. If you haven't checked out my video on Thiago, please do go through the video chronicles and check it out as to why I'm really, really hopeful and really optimistic for when Thiago comes back and hopefully can stay fit. We will have a really sufficient platoon at the DM position, which whether we use McAllister, whether we utilize Thiago, whether we obviously utilize Endo. I think we have a really, really adequate, DM for that position and role. But McAllister brings that possession. McAllister, having a player like McAllister, having a player again like Thiago, having even a player like Endo in that DM role is really, really going to bring about possession. And the biggest thing I say is the best complement to defense is possession. If you control the ball, you obviously you don't have to play defense. So therefore, the best way to mitigate your defensive concerns is to do that. And I think that's what we saw on McAllister yesterday. I also thought that Joe Gomez, I thought that Matip played well. Again, I'm going to have a Tactics Tuesday tomorrow, so I'll go a little bit more in depth in the tactics that Klopp used, and we're starting to see as the framework of this team, of this total football amoeba style formation that we have. But we saw Trent and Joe Matip kind of switching positions, and Trent also being able to join the midfield, but while also creating a back four that gave us that foundation to go to be able to thwart any opportunities that Villa had, and that was really important. I thought that was super important. It resulted in us having quite a bit of, again, not only the possession, but we also had quite a bit of the opportunities that they had. We were able to really be quick to snuff them out. So let's see. Let's just get into some of these ratings. I'll bring up the ratings chart here. Some of these ratings I think were pretty spot on or pretty unique in itself, in that, we ended up getting our first clean sheet. I thought that we could have easily gotten a clean sheet earlier in this year, or most of us would have liked, I should say, not that we should have, but most of us would have liked us to have some clean sheets earlier this year. But yeah, I think we saw what when we do make a commitment to a possession-based effort, we saw when we put the effort to keeping our opponents on the back foot and having them sit back, which is what they did. Their lineup, for instance, was a 4-4-2. And what they did, obviously, Diego Carlos being subbed out early definitely created a more concerted effort for them to sit back and try to take on the brunt of our offensive efforts. But I thought that our defense played well. What were you guys thinking on Allison? Let's just start it off. For Allison, I thought Allison had a good game. I thought that again he played typical Allison, which is, in my opinion, world's best goalkeeper in the world. He only had 3 saves. I get that, but he has some really good saves, decent saves. He didn't really get tested by anything that great. I thought, though, here's a part and point that you guys might want to point out. If you guys ever, again, I love giving you guys little weapons to utilize against the haters and the rivals. One thing I thought was really telling statistic was he had 39 touches, okay, and that's our goalkeeper, 39 touches, but he had 31 out of 32 accurate passes. He was 97% accurate with his passing, okay? He was not only accurate with his short passes, but he was also accurate with his long balls. His long passes were 3 out of 4, okay? So, I mean, he 31 out of 32, and the only missed pass that he had was one long ball, okay? That was, I think it was out to, I want to say it was out to Mo, but I'm not positive. I had to double check on that because I did watch the game back. But he had 97% passing. That's exceptional for a goalkeeper. I understand a lot of his passes are going to be easy passes, a lot of simple outlets, a lot of simple quick outlets to a lot of the midfielders or to Trent or to Robbo, whoever is returning to receive the ball, normally McAllister as well. But that's really decent. Had one high claim. Really decent stat. That's something that I think is notable, though, is that when you're able to have a player like Allison that's able to play the ball at his feet, is able to be confident enough. There's one where he did a flick behind him real quick as if he was like a midfielder. That's something that you got to love and enjoy. What are you guys rating Allison? Giving him I know I personally would have given him. We're not doing half points. You guys can give half points to kind of push the number to a higher number. I'm cool with that. As I said, I am the voice of the believers, so I'm a man of the people. But I was going to give because he didn't have such a high work rate in the sense of he didn't have to take on many goals or so many shots. The fact that he got a clean sheet, you have to give him at least an 8. Are we going to say 9? Mary, okay. Allie's so Marianne's giving him a 10. Okay, that's cool. I agree. Had a great game. A clean sheet should get him an extra point. Allie is unreal. The man is phenomenal. I give Redbird's giving him a 9. I would certainly say that too. I know I said possibly 8, if not a 9. I was leaning towards a 9, but yeah, let's since I'd say maybe a 9. Can we settle on 9, people? Is that cool? Because I'm again a man of the people, so I take your votes and your ratings, and I compile them as an equal participant in the ratings. Keep that in mind. Not every channel does. Keep that in mind. But your opinion and your values, your high value to me. Just keep that in mind always. So let's give Ali a 9. How are you feeling about Robbo? That's something I would love to hear. How are we feeling about Robbo? I know she is. Marion is definitely is a kind and sweetheart. Much love to Marion Southward, and of course, even to her Everton loving husband as well. Big up to him as well. Let's see. So, what are we feeling about Robbo, people? Though, I think Robbo played a really good game. Again, let me get you some statistics on Robbo. I think one thing I've been trying to note, and something that you might want to bring into the debates when you do take on people that have said that they're going to bring out those tired narratives of last year on Robbo, and that is, my thing keeps flipping around. That is with Robbo. I think Robbo played well. I think Robbo you're going to see a real concerted improvement in Robbo's game, simply because the more that we get the DM role locked down, the more that we get a solid understanding of that back line, the more that I think that you're seeing Klopp pretty much say, yes, we are going to play occasionally a back three, obviously when Trent goes forward, but we're going to really, really still focus on having a solid, and if not a flat line of a back four. And that's going to see Robbo improve. And I don't think any of us have ever questioned Robbo's ability to play defense, really. So that's something that I really, really think is important. So Marion is saying Robbo's an 8. Okay. Robbo is an 8 only because I give Joey a 9. Okay. All right, that's cool. Let me pull up some stats here for Robbo. Robbo was, if you look at his heat map, I wish I could pull up the heat map for you guys, but his heat map was incredible. Robbo is doing work. He is doing absolute work. I'll bring up the heat map. I'm going to bring up all these things tomorrow on the Tactical Tuesday, but he is doing some real work. Gotten a full 90. Possibly could have had a goal or a goal attempt at least when that time when Robbo and Trent were leading the charge on the left hand side, and Trent decided to go try to go central with his pass as opposed to pass it out to Robbo, who was wide open. But Robbo, come on, let's not get it twisted. You're no Reese, so we've seen you shoot. So yeah, I think he understood that. I think that's the reason why. But 1 interception, 2 tackles, had 119 touches, was 95% with his accuracy with passing, 97 out of 102 passes. Okay, had 2 very key passes, 2 out of 6 crosses, not that great, but still decent. But 4 out of 5 with the long balls. That means that he's actually he's progressing the ball forward and really getting some great looks. Was 2 out of 3 on ground duels, excellent with the defense. One for aerial duels. Robbo, solid game. What were we saying 8s all around? I'll give him an 8 as well. Let's see. With Gomez. All right, with Gomez. Gomez has got a lot of people changing their minds on Gomez. I know a lot of us, myself included, was saying Gomez should not be playing center back really for us going forward, considering he had some real stinkers in that role. But Klopp, like a great coach, Klopp has really trusted and continued to put the emphasis and belief in this player. I didn't say that I wanted to see him go. I wasn't saying that he needs to be off our team. I was saying that I just wanted to see him more of as a right back entry when it came to his inclusion on this club. But I think Joey's got a purpose. Joey, I think, has a real set purpose in his mind to show a lot of people, all of us, I think, under that pretense, a lot of people wrong this year. And I commend him for his efforts, and I commend him for his commitment. Marion saying, you're making me feel guilty for giving Robbo an 8. I feel you, Marion. It's all good. 8's still a solid rating. Certainly a solid rating. I would say that I would give Gomez a 9 on this one. And it's not because he had such an amazingly incredible performance in the sense of of his numbers. If you look at his numbers, he played a full 90, obviously. But again, he was 95% with his accuracy of passing. He had 108 passes. There's a lot of passes that were being conducted by our back line. If you look at the number of passes that we have for the entire game and you see how many passes were done by the back line, it's an exceptional number of passes. That means that our back line was confident enough to keep control, keep possession, even if they're side-to-side passes, at least get the rhythm down, kind of like control the tempo. It was an excellent thing. He won. Gomez won 3 out of 5 ground duels. He was 2 for 2 from aerial duels. He only committed 1 foul, but it was a really good, decent foul. But he was fouled twice. He even had a shot attempt, which was very interesting. He had 121 touches. Decent showing for him, I think. Decent showing. I'd give him a 9 as well. I think that's what we're going to do for Gomez, right? Gomez 9s? Is that how we're feeling? Let me see. Get your votes in, people, before I lock it in, because I want to make sure, again, I'm a man of the people, so I want to make sure that your vote counts. I'd give Gomez a 9, if anything. So, all right. I guess everyone's conceding my point on Gomez getting a 9 for the game. Because it was very interesting, because some people were giving Gomez. I've seen some people give Gomez the actual man of the match, which is very interesting. I thought he had a great game. I don't know if man of the match type game, but he had a great game for sure. Matip, how are we feeling about Matip? Another player that has been much maligned by the fan base. Much maligned by the fan base. Let me give you this shout out from Redbird, who I think this made some really good comments here. Always good comments. That's why I love the intellect, the important intelligence of the Mighty Reds army that is the 12th man's brethren here. Redbird is saying last season defense was in panic mode most of the time because of the midfield not able to do their job properly for a number of reasons. Age, mainly lack of legs, etc., etc., etc. I agree. Marion also conceded. Yes, Joey G, 9. He's proving himself to us right now. He is. He's got something to prove to us. And I think he's got something to prove to himself, I think. His confidence was definitely shaken last year. But he's coming out like Mobb Deep this year. Big up to Rasta Crab who made that reference. He's not a shook one this year for sure. Let's see. I made that comment. Oh, this was the comment I wanted to bring up by Redbird. The midfield is the difference. It helps the defense. We're seeing that immensely. I will definitely highlight that tomorrow in the tactics breakdown. But you're spot on, Redbird. Our midfield is making a real difference. It's the reason why I keep saying, and give Endo a chance. I think you're going to really see a resurgence in Robbo's game. I think you're going to see even an opportunity and a resurgence in Trent Alexander's game, with not only the inclusion of a proper 6, but with the understanding and the growth of our center backs being able to take on this, inverted, non-inverted role that we see Trent rock and roll with. But how are we feeling about Matip? I would say Matip was a good role. Again, he had 2 clearances, an interception, one tackle, 94 touches. Again, 88 passes. I'm telling you, people, a lot of passes from our back line. 88 passes, 94% from him, which is 83 out of 88. Had 2 out of 3 long balls. Again, this is something to notice. Going to do it in Tactics Tuesday. It's not trying to get too many spoilers, but long balls and the ability to control that long ball is what you're starting to see with this possession-based team. Something that I'm really starting to enjoy seeing, and something that I'm really noting from this team, especially considering these long balls are coming from our back line, which is making it easier for our front line, if not our midfield, to be able to receive those passes and be able to push into our opposition's half. He was 1 for 2 from ground duels, 2 for 2 for aerial duels. The only knock against Matip, you have to put that Trent pass, you have to put that away. That was served on a plate, an absolute plate. I would have given Matip a 9, obviously, if he had made that, but I gotta agree with Redbird for that, for this money. I can't rate him higher than Gomez, and I certainly have to give Matip an 8 simply because of that sitter, that absolute gift of a pass. Beautiful pass by Trent. It was almost as if everyone just watched the pass and just enjoyed the pass. Even Villa enjoyed that pass from Trent. So looks like Matip's getting an 8 from Redbird. Definitely elegant. I said that too. He's got gazelle-style strides for sure. Something we're not seeing too much of is him advancing the ball with his dribbling. But hey, we don't even need that anymore at this moment, at least, considering that we have such a really immensely dominant midfield. Let's see. That pass from Trent to Salah, man, bend it well. Yes. And Matip's getting an 8 from Marion. Agreed. I'd have to give Matip an 8. Let's see. Let's move on to. My thing keeps up. My app here keeps updating, so it keeps taking it off of the games that's got my statistics all lined out for me. But all right, so let's go on to Trent. Hey, how we feeling about our captain? Big up to Trent for taking on that captain's band today. And after having 3 howlers of matches, and let's just be honest, we call it what it is. He's had 3 howler of performances in these past in our opening 3 matches. To take on the responsibility of holding on to that armband, to take on the fact that he has to lead this team out onto the pitch against a well-tooled and absolutely vulnerable opponent in Villa. For him to go out there and show, improve, and give his all, and again, some of those passes should have definitely been put into the back of the net. But the man is doing work, people. He is doing work. His heat map, again, I'm going to show a lot of these things tomorrow, but his heat map, you can see he's absolutely doing work. Excuse me. Almost as much. You'd be surprised. Robbo's actually doing more work on the left side because he's having to really be sure to not leave that left center back position empty and open. But he's doing some work, man. Trent Alexander is doing some work. Got an assist, made 2 interceptions, had only had 1 time with his dribble passed, but he had 93 touches. Out of all the back 4, he had the least passes attempted, but he still had a great accuracy rate, 91%. He only had 75, and I'm saying it's only 75, but that's quite a bit of passes. 68 for 75 from his passing, but he made 5 key passes, 2 for 2 for crosses, 8 of 12. The majority of his passes were long balls, which is not an easy task to perform when you're trying to keep a high accuracy, for sure. Wasn't that great on his ground duels. Obviously, he was only 0 for 2. But he had a shot. He had 2 shots on today. I think we're going to see a goal. I think we're going to see a goal come from Trent pretty soon, because he's got an eye for goal. I think Dom taking those outside the box shots is rubbing off on Trent. They've got a little bromance going on in itself, and that I think you're going to see a goal from Trent pretty soon. But what are we feeling? Marianne is giving Trent a 9. I have to give him a 9. That's because he just turned up. I agree completely. Redbird is saying, Trent, I want to give him a 10, but Dom is my man of the match. Nah, scrub that. Give our future captain what he deserves. 9.99. I feel you on that. Some of his passes money can't buy. For sure. For sure. I can't give him a 10. I can't give him a 10, but I will for sure give him a 9 and definitely give him that shout out that Redbird just made in that look. It was going I think again, you have to appreciate the energy. You have to appreciate the positivity and love that you see from the Anfield crowd. I think it's something that again that I try to resonate through my telecast or my punditry or whenever I'm on a show, defending our players or defending our team, defending sometimes each other. I have to definitely just give a bravo to them, rooting him on and for him stepping it up and making a real difference in that game today. So, yeah, let's give him Trent a 9. I thought he played exceptional, extremely exceptional match. Let's see. Who is up next? Let's go on to Curtis Jones, a surprise entry in the lineup, to say the least. I thought that it was a very cool. It was very cool to see him on the pitch, to be honest with you, because it shows that says that, hey, no matter if you're injured, no matter if you are, you haven't had the necessary form or you haven't been utilized as much, it shows that Klopp is saying any game, every game, there's no guarantees on any starter, minus maybe Mo Salah. Okay. Everyone has to fight for their positions. And not only that, every person has a real line towards getting involved in the game. We saw out of Curtis, you can see a little bit of rust, in my opinion, out of Curtis. I thought Curtis played a good game, but not the game that I was hoping for from him. But I thought he played a decent game. He only had 36. He was 33 out of 36 for his passing, had 42 touches, was 1 out of 4 in his ground duels, had 1 clearance and just 1 tackle, was dribbled past twice. Now, the reason why I'm saying he had a good game, not a great game, is because, you're going to get overshadowed in that midfield, considering the talent that we have in that midfield. And I think also, if you notice that I said that back line was doing a lot of work with the passing. Let me tell you how many passes we did have, actually. I know we had quite a bit of passes. So when it came to our passing, we had 694. I know I was on a watch along. Big up to the Bayesian Reds TV. I did a surprise visit and they allowed me in, like all proper Reds should. Allowed me into the party. One thing that was kind of crazy about the game is that in our first half alone, we had 419 passes. 419 passes. We're 90% for our passing. 387 accurate passes for 419 passes in the first half. That number is sometimes a number for just the entire game for some teams. But again, incredible amount of numbers, incredible amount of passing, 694 passes in total, 635 passes that were accurate, which meant we had 91% of accuracy on our passes, 38 attempts, 23 out of 38 for long balls, and a decent amount. Normally, how we always say we don't like to see spam crosses. I don't mind you doing quite a high number of crosses as long as you're making these crosses connect. And if you saw our crosses, 7 out of 13 is not a bad number for crosses. It's not a bad number. Villa did a decent job as well. Unfortunately, they had 6 out of 10 as well. But for our numbers, not a bad number to see. Not a bad number to see. So for Curtis Jones, what are we rating him at? So we have, let's see. We had Curtis at Redbird giving him a 8. Marion said that she's going to give him an 8 as well. I would have given him a 7. I know I'm being harsh. But again, the people's vote matters. So let's rock and roll with an 8 for Curtis. How about that? Again, man of the people, voice of the believers, best believe. Um, McAllister, our next midfield assassin. McAllister doing work in a position that, again, a lot of us don't necessarily think that he's going to be a mainstay in, but someone that is great player to have. It's just the absolute versatility of this player is so pivotal to our club. Played 87 minutes, was 88% with of accuracy in his passing, was 63 out of 72. I thought Mac 10 was definitely good with that. Wasn't great with his long balls, as 1 out of 6, and also had 1 out of 3 dribble attempts. Was 4 out of 11 for his ground duels, and committed 3 fouls. Okay, that is why I was thinking, 3 out of 2 had 3 tackles, only dribble passed twice. But if you saw the heat map, he was in that mid third the entire game, just really doing some real big work. I would give Mac 10 an 8 personally. Redbird, I concede, is that he's giving him a Mac 10 and 8 as well. I agree. I thought he played well. Could have played a little bit better, but I thought Mac 10 played well yesterday. Considering that he helped solidify our possession, and that's something that I think we definitely need. Big up to Jay Kisman in the house. You never walk alone, for sure. One of my proper Reds in my mind, for sure. Big up, bro. Definitely. Hey, good that you can join us. You can put in your 2 cents worth when we're coming along these ratings. Try to sway the vote. How we feeling about Dom? Big Dom. Spoiler alert: Dom was my man of the match. So I think where my vote's going to be. I'm giving the amount of work that this man puts in. He was all over the map. Like all over the map. When you look at his heat map, he was not only all over the map, obviously opened up the scoring, got his first goal. Big up and salutations to him getting his first goal. Okay. Okay, cool. Big Mac got an 8 from Marion. Got his first goal. The man isn't scared to shoot, which I'd like to see. I think he's got the same, if not, this isn't a knock against Ox, because I think Ox is a really talented player when it comes to shots outside the box. But he's definitely got that Ox ability to find the back of the net when it comes to shooting from outside the box, and not scared nor hesitant to do so, which is great. Was 51 out of 56 with his passing. Was 3 out of 4 for crossing. Awesome. 1 for 1 for long balls. Again, had the shot on the one shot, which was or 2 shots actually. One obviously was his goal. The other one went wide, but I saw what he was trying to do. 2 out of 7 with ground duels, but the sheer fact that he was putting pressure on a lot of the midfield, always the engine on this guy is phenomenal. Phenomenal engine on this guy. The boss, as I like to call him, the boss. Okay, Big Dom, the boss. Okay. What are we rating them? We're giving, let's see, Jay Kismet also is giving shout outs. Also, it's giving shout out and love to our fellow Reds there. Big shout outs to you guys from Jay Kismet. Jay Kismet is giving the boss a 9. Okay. Let me make sure I don't miss Redbird's rating on him. The Redbird said, Big Dom, Big Bad Dom, a worthy man to wear our famous 8. What a player! Wow, 10.99. Agreed. I'm leaning to. I'm definitely in the 10 camp for Dom, despite his numbers not being like eye-popping numbers. But I think that initial goal that he had, they were saying that his goal was offside. Did you guys hear this? Peter Schmeichel ranting and raving about how he thought Mo Salah's goal, Mo Salah, excuse not Mo Salah's goal, but Mo Salah was in an offside position, and that he impacted that goal, and that he was blocking out the goalkeeper from seeing it. Look, we all have biases. I get that. I have biases. You know, you have, I'm sure all of us have biases towards our favorite players, towards our team, towards, you know, the agendas and narratives that sometimes we kick out there. But come on, Schmeichel. Come on. After this weekend and seeing Haaland basically do a dummy for the goal that they got, which was not reviewed. I don't think it was even reviewed, but much less gave a dummy where he allowed for the ball to go through his legs and end up being a goal. If that isn't interference, I don't know what is. So to say that was interference shows such small-mindedness. That is such BS, guys. In my opinion, I was just getting, and he was going on and on and on about it. It was just like, give it a rest, my guy. Give it a rest. All right, and I'll even pull that the picture up for you guys in a second. If you give me one quick second, I'll pull up I have the still for it because it was quite annoying that the fact that he brought that up. And first things first, let me do this as well. All right, so let me show you what I'm talking about, guys. Let me show you this before we continue on, because it was such BS. It was making me so angry. So this is what is the rule, okay? Denying a scoring opportunity. From this season, only international fouls in the penalty box on a player through a goal will be punished with a red card. It is deemed that a player's genuine attempt is being made to play the ball. Oh, excuse me. This is the red card. I think. Let me pull up this first. Actually, that's the red card knowledge. That was on that. I'm sorry about that. That was from last week, because we're just getting hosed with some of these calls and some of these punditries that we're seeing with the way that they're doing is incredible, of how they're really choosing which rules and which laws they want to have instilled. Okay, so let me show you this too. And that's the still of the play, but this is the actual law of the game. Okay, IFAB laws of the game 2023-24 people. A player is in offside position at the moment the ball is played or touched by a teammate is only penalized on becoming involved in active play by interfering with an opponent, by preventing an opponent from playing or being able to play the ball, by clearly obstructing the opponent's line of vision. You will see in this still, one, he sees the ball. He has an active line on Dom and can see him. If anyone's blocking his vision, it's his own player, if anything, okay? But he can see the player. He can absolutely see the player shooting the ball. He can see the boss. He's about to shoot. And the sheer fact that there was absolutely no way he was going to save that ball is why I think that you are barking up the wrong tree, Schmeichel, when it comes to saying that Mo Salah is impeding his vision, that Mo Salah should have been called offside. Absolute trash, man, trash. Bin Man style stuff. Let's call it that. I give a big up. Big up to Sam A. Chainsaw in the house. Big up. Long time, brother. Good to see you. It's good to see you. Hopefully you can include some of your opinions and some of your ratings that we're doing. We're doing the ratings section. You can even tell me how you felt. Please tell me if you guys are if you guys believe that this should have been called offsides. Please tell me that if you think that you can see right here, this is Mo Salah, and this is the player coming out to take on the shot. absolutely can't understand how they gave him this much room. That's incredible that they gave him this much room to take this shot. But you can see the Villa player coming out to take on the play. And if anything, I wish I could draw a line here, but if anything, I'll do my best to show you with the pointer. You can see his view is spot on to Dom. You can not only see that, if there's anyone blocking his vision, it is his own player. You can see that, man. It is absolutely pathetic sometimes. Some of the parrot punditry and some of the absolutely biased takes. And I get it. If I was on Sky Sport, if they ever give me the call, which who knows, maybe they will after we reach that road to 100K, or maybe I'm on Talk Sport, if I'm on something like that. I'm not going. I will be biased towards Liverpool and towards giving a Liverpool slant towards my analysis, but I do my best to keep it 100, and that's not an offside interference. I think it's an absolute great goal. I think that there's no way that even if he had no one in front of him, he's saving that ball one iota. That hit the side netting, guys. That's just an absolute ripper of a shot. People were comparing that to Thiago's shot. And like the only difference is Thiago's shot defied gravity. I didn't even understand Thiago's shot was on some Jedi mind trick stuff where he just like propelled that ball in. But Dom, the boss, definitely gave a real good run for his money when it came to that. So yeah, I don't think that this was an offside shot. I think it was a great goal, absolute great goal. So let's just get back to it. I'll give the shout outs to what we said. Let's see. He does this because the man's going to reach the sky. Let's see. It says here, Redbird saying, people have agendas. They can't help themselves. Agreed. Again, big up to Chainsaw. Big up. Schmeichel showing his hate for Liverpool. They don't even try to hide it. I know, because he just kept going on and on. He even made a really I don't know if you guys heard this comment when he had when the referee, he's engaging with the referee, but he made a really, really cheeky reference to the referee saying, well, I know that you've never been a goalkeeper or something to that line. I was like, dang, dog, you've never been a referee either. I mean, like he could have had a clap back and said that to him, but he was talking about how his perspective as a referee, as a goalkeeper. I was like, wow. Chainsaw saying great goal. Chainsaw again saying not offside. Absolutely agree. Jake Kidman saying man's going to reach 12 out of 20 out of 10. Yeah, I feel you on that. Liverpool. Marion saying Liverpool 12th man. Oddly enough, that's what the ref said today on Sky Sports. Hey, great minds think alike, Marion. Great minds think alike. Jay Kismet saying, I love it. Let's see what else. Biased tastes get attention. Absolutely spot on. I think this is a great message from Chainsaw. Talk sport. Don't bring anything of value to the game. Talk sport. I gotta love their intros and outros and their overlays. Okay, Mac gets an 8 from Chainsaw. Okay, I feel you. I think we gave. Is that where did we not give Mac? Oh, my fault. I thought we already gave Mac a rating. I think we gave Mac an 8. I thought. Let me double check, make sure. Yeah, Mac got an 8 for his score. So let's put in an 8 for Mac. For Dom, we're giving him a 10. I think is a good rating for him. I believe, right? I'm cool with that, right? Let's see. Yeah, let's see. I'll keep on with the comments. Talk sport, a place where grown men talk loud and cocky. Yeah, for sure. The boss gets a 9.5 in my opinion. Can't wait to see more from him. This is Chainsaw speaking. though I think he needs to slightly improve his football IQ when breaking up play. A very interesting take. Okay, with at least the last portion of it. Tomorrow when I do my Tactics Tuesday, hopefully Chainsaw, you're available. You can come definitely join in the conversation. I'd love to hear you give a little bit more, elaborate more on that take. Redbird told you all, not only have we got to play against 11 men, we also have officials with them as well. That's right. That's their 12th man. With them, as well as for the biased pundits, bun the lot. I, for one, never listen to them. I let you tell me what they say. Let's see. And then the final comment. We haven't conceded since Virgil got a red card. That's an interesting take this too. That's a very interesting statistic. All right, so now let's move on to Diaz. What are we feeling on Diaz? My fault. I'm bringing that up there. Just to pull it up there. What are you feeling on Diaz? Diaz, I thought, played a good game, guys. I thought he played a good game. One thing I'm noticing on Diaz too. I know that, again, I'm not one for lazy punditry and anything else, because I have been saying that, often is the case is that we don't rate Diaz because a lot of people often try to compare his work rate defensively to Mane and what our expectations and our normal contemplations of what we expect to see from that left wing when it comes to counter press, when it comes to defensive work rate. We understand that Mane was just next level. But with Diaz, there's something I saw. Diaz was really putting a concerted effort, and I thought a very good effort when it came to his defensive prowess on the pitch. He's 22 of 27 with his passing. Was 1 out of 2 for his long balls, but again, he was making attempts on the ball. Oh, big up to Baz. Everyone definitely, I'm sure the chat as well. We're all again hoping that your recoveries continues to go forward and progress very well. We can't wait to see you back healthy, and obviously we love when you join in on the conversations, because Baz always, despite the fact that there are very few things, but there are occasional things that Baz and I do agree on. No, we agree on more than what I'm making, but there are things that me and Baz agree on completely, and there's things that we disagree on. But I appreciate the difference between Baz and some of the other people that I have to take on sometimes is that Baz's opinion and I respect completely, and I appreciate his dialogue and his contribution in the conversation. But again, 1 out of 2 for long balls, 2 out of 5 when it came to ground duels, was fouled twice. Offside once, but only had one foul they was laid into. I'm really, again, Tax Tuesday, you got to tune in. I'm going to show how Diaz is making a difference. He's making a real concerted effort, a real super concerted effort when it comes to his defense. Really super effort. Let's see. I'm going to put up some of these comments again. I'll start some of them. Chainsaw is saying basically Nunez, Diaz, Sal, all 8.5s and 9s for him. Yes, we're going to get into that. The new main front three. Hey, are we all agreeing that this possibly is our new front three? I think for certain circumstances, I think we will see Hakpo join in at the 9. I would love to see a front three of this, as well as having Hakpo at the 10. I would love to see that. I voiced that on, I believe I voiced it on Beige and Red's TV channle. Hunt and Hakpo have to hold bench for the time being, possibly. In the Chelsea game, I realized Dom off the ball gameplay kept breaking up their attacks and hunted down the opposition. His goals showed what his attacking side of his game has to offer. Spot on. Again, give you a pound there. This is to my main man there, Baz with LVFCTV. Let's see. So what are we rating Diaz at? What are we giving Diaz a rating on when it comes to his performance yesterday. I thought he did well, and the reason why, despite him not getting a goal, I thought that he did have some real decent attempts, and he has some decent approaches. Not the absolute incredible approaches that we saw coming from the first two matches, but I thought that he played well. If you look at his heat map, the majority of his heat map was him helping out in that mid third, immensely helping out in that mid third. Let's see. I will get to your question, Chainsaw. I'll bring that up for the chat in a second. Here's some love again for Baz. Baz knows his football, played to a high level as well. Good luck with the stitches, man, for sure. Let's see, what else have we got here? A couple more questions. Yes, and this is something I saw too. This is something that we'll get into once we get into the Nunez salad. But Redbird's spot on. I think there is a bromance brew. There's a couple of bromances brewing on our team, which is cool. I like to see it. I definitely like to see it. But where are we giving Diaz? I'd give Diaz a solid 8. I thought he played well. I thought, again, the reason why I'd give him an 8 is because oh wow, okay. Again, Baz is definitely the Simon Cowell when it comes to ratings. This is why I love him. Hopefully Chris Angel's not in the chat to see that, Baz. But he did well. He's giving Diaz a 6.5 or a 7. Okay. I'm giving Diaz an 8. What are we feeling on Diaz, people? Get your ratings in here. Again, like I said, man, the people, voice of the believers, I'm always going to have your say be impacted in our discussion and a part of our ratings. So what are we giving Diaz? Ouch. Diaz gets a 6 from Jake Hisman. Oh, these ratings are not going the way we want them. Jake Hisman says Diaz 6. He kept passing to the Villa players. Okay. Come on, people. There's a few heads in the chat here. Help me out. I'm giving Diaz an 8 so far. We've got a 6.57, so I'm gonna rate up to a 7 for him. But Jake Hisman gave him a 6, so that puts him back at that 6.5 layer. What are we feeling, people? What are we feeling? Any other votes that we want to get in? Because if that's the only votes, we're definitely not going to get Diaz up to an 8. Let's see. Jake Hisman had else to say. Diaz needs to do what wingers do: beat a man and get the ball in. Lacks assist to his game. You know what? You know what's interesting is there's a lot of people that were saying. This is what you're thinking, 12. He's saying 8. You're crazy. It's all love, bro. I know it is. I'm giving him an 8 because of why I said that the earlier comparison I gave to how a lot of people don't, and myself included, have been critical of his defensive work rate and his ability to properly press, and to get in tackles and get that counter press so far up in the pitch that he's able to utilize his speed to get into those positions and retrieve the ball, get the ball back for us. And I think that he's made a concerted effort this year. I'm starting to see him understand his spacing. I'm understanding to see him being able to, limit the amount of space and to be able to pounce on our opposition. So let's get it in here. LF, again, I know. Baz already gave him a 7. I got you. It looks like Marion's saying number 7 gets a 7, I think. Is that what we're saying? Okay. Let's give Diaz, I guess my 8 gets outvoted. We got some 6s, but we had a couple 7s were the majority. Looks like our man Lucho is going to get a 7. Okay. Very interesting. Hey, let me just say, let the record show I gave you an 8. Let me let the record show. I guess that's just my Colombian love showing, but it's all good. I can't wait too, brother. I can't wait. 12. I can't wait to get this internet so I can challenge some of these madness. I've definitely going to have you. Definitely going to have you on the streams here to participate, because I definitely love the interaction and the back and forth. See my brother and brethren, Baz. So it looks like we're giving Diaz a 7. What are we giving Nunez, people? What are we giving Nunez? I was spoken about it earlier. I said that Nunez, unfortunately, was getting stick, the same parrot punditry, the same BS, the same tired takes. Someone was like, oh, same old Nunez, or they were saying, oh, it looks like he's reverted back to his old ways, or some bull crap like that. The man had an absolute amazing attempt on goal with that chip that hit the crossbar. Absolutely incredible. That's millimeters off. Had a shot that hit the post that ended up being an own goal because it was an absolute rocket of a shot. Again, I know some people were saying that he gets the assist for that. I don't think he does. I don't think it gets counted as an assist. I can double check. I'm going to reach out to my connects at FIFA. I still have some of my coworkers that do work there. I'm going to ask them for some clarity on that. But I think that he played a really, really exceptional game. I tend to say there are some stats. And this is a shout out to the eye merchant or the eye test merchants out there. I agree that there are some parts and points in people's games that you have to go even a little bit beyond the stats. I get that he had 4 shots, quote unquote, off target. 2 of those shots hit the post, hit the woodwork. That's 2 shots. He had 1 shot that was blocked, that was going towards net. He only had 11 passes, but he was 7 out of 11 for his passes. Had 1 very key pass, obviously, that resulted in an assist. And that was the header off the corner, and was 1 out of 3 for his ground duels, 1 out of 2 for aerial duels. Only gave up 1 foul, but had 1 clearance as well. So he's doing his work. Was really, really pressing that back line. I think that the one thing I want to see is that it's not always about you scoring the goal. It's about you being in the position to score the goals. That makes the defense, have to know and have to adjust to you. It opens up lanes. It opens up other opportunities for other players, and that's something that you have to give him credit for, in my opinion. So he got an assist, people. Let's see what we're going to do with the ratings. Okay, this is going to be interesting, people. Definitely going to be interesting. Let's get into these comments. Darwin had a great game. Unlucky not to score. I'm giving my boy a 9. Big up. Always love. 6.5. Should have done a bit better. Again, Baz's nickname should be Simon. Okay, but 6.5 should have done better, a bit better with those posts and decision making in front of goal. But he wasn't bad. Again, that shot, that pass from Mo had pace on it, people. It had some real pace, and he was making his run, and you could see that he was stuck in between 2 worlds like Ibu. But unlike Ibu, he at least had enough sense to at least figure out last minute, I'm either going to try to do this volley, which he was about to attempt, was able and agile enough to figure out that he couldn't make that volley attempt. So he ended up utilizing his head. He was in mid-air when he was doing it. So he ended up getting the ball. If he's either 1-2 feet over, that's a goal. That's a goal. If he makes his run just 1 or 2 feet over, that's a goal. The sheer fact that he even make any type of connection to that shows his ability as a striker. But again, okay, cool. So we got a 9, 6.5. Let's see. Darwin was involved in all 3 goals. Was won the corner for the opener, hit the post for the own goal, and set up Salah with his header for an assist. He's been involved in all of our last 5 goals and got us 6 points. So Jay Kismet's giving him an 8. Big up. Okay, so it's 8, 9, 6.5. You know what? I already knew Marion's giving him a 10. I get that, babe. I get that. Darwin, I'm completely biased. It's a 10 just because she loves him. Absolutely. We all, or most of us all love Darwin as well. Darwin the Ambassador. Let's see. So that's a 10. I love how the ratings are picking up, knocking down Simon Baz's 6.5. I like it. I know his Redbird. I know he's your guy, bro. I respect your rating for sure. Baz, I'm going to ring up your internet provider and tell him to cancel. Giving Darwin a 6.5. He's shameless, bro. Absolutely. Oh, good vibes in the chat. I love it. Good vibes. So, all right. Looks like we swayed Simon Baz. Ashley, nah, he did well. Give him an 8. Good for you guys. Darwin is getting a solid. Let's see. We had an 8, a 9, a 10. Oof. We might be pushed up to a 9, people. I'm gonna have to give him a 9. Wow, that's cool. I like it. Jay Kismet saying Darwin is an energy. Darwin is an energy. He unsettles defenses with the way he gets about. That's why he needs to start games, because he's like a lion let loose when the whistle goes. Absolutely agree with that. He is an absolute vibe in itself. So it looks like Darwin is getting a 9. How about for our highly targeted Egyptian king, Mo Salah? What are we giving Mo Salah for his rating today? I thought Mo Salah played well. I thought he showed true ability and excellence by blocking out a lot of the noise and a lot of what we were hearing. It was the actual tone that was being pressed by a lot of the market media or your base media. Let me give you some ideas and everything. What I mean by the media trying to place a lot of of their opinions into this. This is what Klopp had to say. I never had any doubt about his commitment to this club. These are quotes, by the way. You can't imagine how much fuss the world has made, but how calm we are with it. He is our player and wants to play here. Excuse me. That's what the boss Dom said. Excuse me. So this is which the boss said was the message conveyed to the rest of the side. The boss said he heard the speech in the dressing room. That's what he's conveying to us, and he said that in the post-match speech or post-match interview. Excuse me. Mohamed Salah had told his teammates he is staying. The boss told us. The Egyptian, according to his manager, has never come to tell him he was leaving. So this is what Klopp is saying. The German Klopp seeing Salah's commitment in matches and training, noting that his input in meetings of the players' leadership group had not felt the need to ask him if his next match would be for the SPL side. He said, "For me, it wasn't a subject." This is Klopp speaking. "For me, it wasn't a subject for 1 second, to be honest." Look, when it comes to our number 11, look, Mo is an icon, a legend, possibly, arguably one of our greatest players to put on a red kit. I think the notable thing, but when it comes to when it comes to Salah, is that there's 3 criteria that you have to keep in mind when it comes to making transfers. Okay, this is criteria that is utilized to weigh whether we're going to sell a player or not. The offer, the actual offer, has to be big enough for us to actually even consider it. Initially, for them to even give that 60 million offer in the beginning was insulting. Okay, they don't understand they don't understand the immense importance and the immense status of this club by offering something like that to a player of this status. When the player wants to go, and when Klopp has the time to recruit a replacement. Those are the three criteria it takes for us to make a move, okay? Those are the three criteria that we need to see, okay? And only one of those three boxes was checked. And even with the 200 million that we're hearing reported, still doesn't move the needle for me. So again, what are we giving Mo on his rating? Simon Baz is giving a 8. Okay. Jay Kismet is giving Salah 7. Got about and wanted to link with Darwin. Scored a goal and wasn't in full gear. Okay, very interesting. I get that. Everyone has a price. That's certainly true. But again, our price isn't what it is. And I get that everyone has a price, but again, that price has to be met. And then that money that you're receiving needs to be allocated. Like, as the difference between Coutinho, I've heard a lot of people make the Coutinho comparison, and that is with Coutinho, we had despite him obviously pressing and pushing for his exit from the team, we not only got, what I think it was 140 plus or whatever it was, something around that number. We got such an exceptional amount of money for Coutinho. However, it was early enough in the window that we were able to go out and get not only Alisson, but Verge, and bringing those two players well before, we had to, before our summer window kicked off, before, we had to get them on the pitch and have them actually play and be a part of the club. That makes a difference. It makes an exceptional difference when it comes to it. So again, we have an 8. We have a 7 for Salah. Marion is giving our Mo an 8. Okay. Redbird is saying about what I was speaking about earlier. Salah wants to get to 200 goals. I totally agree. I think that this is something that I heard Bejan Pops say, and something he said it on another channel. And then he even repeated the comment on his own channel on Beijing Reds TV. And it's something that I agree with, and I am definitely in that same camp with him, in that there's no guarantee that he leaves, people. Even if the price is a good, decent price, there's no guarantee that he leaves because of exactly what Redbird said. He wants to get those. Salah's in a place now that he's making the money he's making. I understand that 350 versus 1.5 million a week is his night and day difference, but it's still like 350 is still a lot of money. And I think that with Mo, he's in the mindset of breaking records now. He's in the mindset of wanting to cement his legacy and to be able to. He made a point to say when he was coming back to Premier League, he had work to do, and he had a message and a solid message to bring when it came to what he wanted to see happen. So, okay, so we're looking at, again, 8 from Marion. I got an 8 from Simon Baz. I got an 8 from Redbird. He said he was a bit torn between a 7 or 8, but it looks like he's going to side with an 8. Okay, 12 man. I was talking about Baz's price. Okay, I feel you. I definitely feel you. So it looks like an 8. Looks like our man Mo Salah is getting an 8. Can't go against the people. So okay, so it looks like we had Jota, we had Elliott subbed in, we had Endo subbed in. We saw the injury, which is being reported as not a serious injury for Trent, but it's a hamstring injury for Trent. And we saw Kwanzaa, who I'm very high on, be subbed in. We saw Hakpo get subbed in. A lot of the subs, I think, they got subbed in, but you know what? They got subbed in. So the earliest sub we saw was, for us at least, was the 64th minute with Elliott. The 65th minute was Hakpo and Hatta. decent amount of minutes, I guess you could say, for them. You could give them a rating. What are we saying for our subs? I thought our subs came in, did adequate work, not eye catching, eye watering work, but I think they did definite 7 work. I think I agree with Redbird in that I think that the majority of our subs got 7s when it came to the work that they put in. They came in and didn't do anything that made you say, oh, because of their efforts, we might have lost a goal. I think I would rate them a 7. So I would rate Hata a 7, Diego a 7. I would rate Agent Cody a 7. I would do Endo a 7, and I would give Elliot a 7. We all in agreement on that, or should we? Is there someone out of those 5 subs that? Oh, can't forget Happy Kwanzaa. So we gave Happy Kwanzaa a 7 as well. I thought that it's exceptional. The amount of confidence that Klopp shows in our youth is exceptional, and it's a real badge of honor for our youth that they're getting these opportunities and they're not shrinking from the opportunity. They are taking it fully on and fully contributing well with it. And I'm so happy to see Jarrell do that. So happy Kwanzaa, definitely. I don't know. I think Kwanzaa is celebrated around the world, right? Is Kwanzaa celebrated around the world? I know it's celebrated here in America. I know it's a African African celebration as well. But and it's spelled differently. I know before I get slated on that, it's spelled differently. I get that, but the pronunciation is very similar. So I'm utilizing it as the Happy Kwanzaa as my nickname for Jarrell. Looks like Simon Baz is giving a 6 for the subs. For me, Diego was probably the best out of them. Redbird is saying Kwanzaa, Kwanzaa, Kwanzaa. For sure. Not a bad showing, I think. Ultimately, we can't give a bad showing. Who are we giving the man of the match to? I know who I want to give the man of the match to. Who are we giving the man of the match to for everyone? Let's see. Where that is. I think it's here. Man of the match. Who are we giving it to? My man. I already announced my man of the match, but some of you weren't here when I announced it, so I'll hold off in case you're new to the stream and keep the spoiler or keep the anticipation waiting. I don't think it's gonna be too big of a surprise who I'm going to put MOTM to. But who is your man of the match, people? We still have some heads in our chat. We only got a few more minutes before we get to that full 90. Dom is giving the man of the match to the boss. Oh, the boss, Ali. Okay. All right. Man of the match is going to Ali. I have a different boss. Okay. But very interesting. Dom's giving boss. I'm giving it to the same boss that Redbird's talking to. The boss, the Mafia Dom. I like that. The Mafia Dom, the boss. Man of the match is easy. Dom. I am in agreement. Redbird. I give it to Dom. Any other votes for man of the match? So far, we got 2 for Dom. We got 1 for Ali. Who we're giving it to, people? We got a few more seconds. I'll give you like 10, 15 more seconds before I close the polling. Who we doing? I guess. You don't like it? You don't like seeing Dom getting man of the match? What? Boss a lie. He's getting an 8 for him. Okay, I get you. If you look, I would suggest, and again, you'll see it on Tactics Tuesday, but I would suggest Simon Baz check out the heat map for Dom. The amount of work and the amount of difference that this man brings, whether it is in the opposition's half or in our own half. This man is all over the pitch. He is high energy. He has certainly got, he's got an engine on him like crazy. Big up, Marianne. Appreciate it. Helping us get that man of the match vote in. Dom, 100% Dom, man of the match. Okay. Redbird is saying the boss a lie. Is that right? The boss Ali. Is that right, Baz? And he's saying no. 12. He's saying Dom. Oh, Dom was the man of the match. Oh, okay, I got you. Okay, all right, cool. I gotta make sure. You know how it is, Simon Baz. You know, you know how it is. He's saying our number 8, not 8 rating. I got you. For sure. The boss ends up getting, for sure. Whoops, I'm clicking on the wrong thing there. The boss gets our man of the match. Man of the match. He's the only one that got a 10 rating. It's kind of obvious that you got to give him the man of the match. But again, hey, guys, tomorrow I'm going to be doing, again, I know I mentioned it about 8, 9 times already, but it's one of the episodes I like and enjoy doing. It's one that I like taking the deep. I obviously like the statistics game of it. I like the numbers aspect. I love the tactical versions of it. It's the reason why lately in my life I've started to migrate towards Football Manager as opposed to trying to play FIFA when it comes to my gaming days or my gaming efforts. So yeah, tomorrow we're going to be doing a Tactical Tuesday. I'm going to look to bring the show on at let's see, it would be 7 p.m. I want to say UK time. So I'll make a point to hold that true. I'm going to be going. It's very difficult because sometimes I see I'm trying to I schedule my shows or I put the shows out there, and again we're trying to make this effort grow. I know we're trying to make this. I know that I'm so appreciative of all of the Mighty Reds Army that I have here. The ones that are truly positive and truly bring righteous vibes to the arena here, to the camp, and people that, again, I appreciate you sharing this effort, sharing this channel, sharing the opportunity for Reds. If you're not a Red, hey, maybe this ingratiates you to become a Red, which hey, the door is open for that. If not, if you're if you're a rival or if you're somewhat of a neutral, hey, you're still welcome to show up, still welcome to be a part of the debate, still welcome to show, you can troll, you can do all that you want. Hey, with the weapons that my Mighty Reds Army have, we're ready for any and all, anything and everything you can bring to the front. That's what I see, and that's how I envision our Mighty Red Army. So again, we're going to have that Tactical Tuesday tomorrow. Hope you join me. I'll bring out. I have some great. I have a tactical board. I'll bring that up. Has some great stills and some great. Obviously, I can't utilize footage, but I have some great stuff to share with you tomorrow. So big up to all of you. Let's see. I want to always leave you with. I'm going to pull up this here. I'm going to pull up this and show you what I really, truly want to make sure you understand. This is something I'm going to try to make an effort to make it as the final portion of the night. You'll understand the night is coming to a close by saying, "You'll Never Walk Alone" is not just a song. It's not merely an anthem. It's a statement of intent. And my intention is to bestow that into every Mighty Red, every Red I can, because I truly believe in numbers, and in numbers, we are unbeatable. We are so powerful, so immensely important to have that aspect in your mind. I love the positivity of all you. I enjoy the haters even more so. At times I say that because if anything, I know that I've got my Reds to have my back. We always walk together. We always walk on together. So by subscribing, liking, commenting, and importantly, share this with everyone and anyone. I don't care if it's your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad, your cousins, your kids. Hey, register, subscribe, get every last one of them to subscribe to this channel, please. I really am on an effort to see this hit 100K and then on beyond that, so we can have a real legitimate source of positive energy, positive, more so a real concerted effort to bring out the love that I see, the love that I know that is the Reds Nation. So again, let's make this a movement to empower our mighty Reds. I appreciate every last one of you. With that said, I'm going to be going, and I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow, and possibly in other chats as well, but I'll be seeing you tomorrow for sure. All right? Take care, people. Take care.